Hey, residents of Meepletown. Today, John and I are factory owners. But John, we have an enemy.
What's that?
That enemy is time, because our factory is rusting out.
We all have that enemy.
This just got really deep. But
we're corroding out.
Our factories.
We're dying out.
Not our factory.
The wheel of time is spinning. I mean,
man,
it's.
I don't even want to do this video anymore. However, there are these chrome gears, so everything's okay. If you can get those chrome gears,
those don't rust out.
They don't rust out. That's right. Let's get to the table and check out Corrosion.
Hold up.
Corrosion.
All right, Dean, we have Corrosion set up now that we've had our discussion on life and all that.
I'm really bummed out right now.
Man, but we're going to get to play a board game, so yay!
Board games
game
don't
time.
even matter. Life.
Does this
life
even
is
matter?
Fleeting. It doesn't. It's.
Alrighty, so with that being said, I don't know if that segue makes any sense. We're going to play some Corrosion right now. This is a victory point game, and we're going to be scoring the victory points all kinds of different ways. We're going to be scoring them by building chrome machines. Goodness gracious. We're going to be getting them throughout the game in various different ways, picking up these little tokens here. Also, there's some in-game scoring cards that we have here that we can get. And I need to put these over here. With that being said, I think let's just go in and let's just play. It's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, I think it really is. Okay, so I'll just show you this real quick, this wrench, this little first player wrench. There's several phases to the game. If you can see right here, it's going to be a maintenance, main action, maintenance, and then end of turn. I think that sounds more complicated than it really is. It's pretty straightforward. I could be doing some secondary actions and different things right now, which you'll see as we progress. And then I can do a main action. Then I could do a little more maintenance possibly. That doesn't happen very often. I would say usually you're just going to do a maintenance or your secondary actions at some point and a main action and then just kind of close out the turn.
Yep.
Okay, so I can do one of two things on my turn. Super simple. I can either play a card. And when I play a card, I get the bonus, all right, not the bonus, the action on the bottom. So this is saying that I can get a one-shot machine, which are right here. Or maybe I can get a small or a medium gear. Grab one of these engineer cards. Different things like that. Or I can spin the wheel of time. And when I spin the wheel, it's not really the wheel of time. When I spin the wheel, I can... I'm going to set off machines and different things like that. So
when I think spinning the wheel, I think like Wheel of Fortune. You're not actually doing that, right? Just
big money. That was really fun noise to try to make.
I was impressed. I thought you did a good job on that.
Nice. Yeah, you never know.
Well done.
You never know with me. I'll go ahead and take my turn, but I will mention there are three types of machines. Chrome machines that never rust out in the game. They're going to just keep going, baby. One-shot machines that they're going to have a one-time ability when they're set off by the wheel. You'll see it as we play. And it's usually pretty powerful, but it's a one-time deal. And then turning machines that every single time, no matter where the machine is placed here, I turn the machine, I'm going to get it. And they're smaller rewards. But you got to have those bad boys to get the bigger rewards.
Yeah.
Your economy in this game is going to be the steam here and gears. So that's basically it. So what am I going to do on my first turn, Deanie?
I don't know.
Oh, I said that. That's Chrome, not the people. All right, so this is what I'm thinking right off the bat is, do I want to look at some of these Chrome machines? These are the basic ones. They're just not quite as powerful, but they're also easier to get. The top, anything in black that you see is going to be cost, like right here. And they're going to give me abilities when we turn the machines or maybe... discounts. Like look at this one right here, for example. This wouldn't be bad to grab right now because for the rest of the game, as long as this has been built, I'm going to be able to get cheaper. All my machines, man, that's not a bad...
Just don't want to get it right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's going to be expensive. It's going to be a while
cheaper. A couple cheaper, but they're of the small ones that can be, not that hard to get. Or I could be looking down here and looking at how to, help my deck a little bit. It's not like a deck building game, really. I mean, you're getting more action. It's kind of like Concordia.
Yeah.
I mean, some people could argue that, but it's not like I'm cycling through a deck and drawing up cards or anything. I can play any of my cards at any time. Of course, then you're tempted by these that give you a victory point right off the bat, So I think, though, I'm going to... Actually, I like both of those. So...
Can you imagine playing with him in this game, like if you're actually playing like that?
playing like
you
what?
take your turns where you're explaining all the stuff.
Yeah, I know. We do this for the YouTubes. I would be so irritated.
It just hit me. You're doing an excellent job, John. It just hit me. Like, oh man, if you were actually playing like this when we were playing,
you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play this Chrome Machine card. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Which all I do is take one of the Chrome Machines. Now, whenever I play the card, I put it into the slot of the value here. And I'm not going to be able to get that back until this X spins back around all the way over here. I'm going to go ahead and grab that one I was talking about to make this a little bit cheaper. I'm going to slide this. I could go ahead and put it here, but it's going to cover up a spot where whenever this 4 gets back around, this X gets back around, I would get all these rewards. I do have one slot that I can leave this in as a temporary place to keep these open. Any other ones that I get, I have to put onto the board or put this on the board to put those in that slot. Now, the negative is I just made that more valuable. Now, what Dean can do right now is if he has a card higher of the same value, a higher value of the same color, he can do that action like I just did.
That's right. And John knows that I cannot do that because we start off with level 3 is the highest in our deck.
And the values are a little different and stuff, but the actions are identical to start the game off.
It's kind of interesting because initially I was going to go up here. I'll go.
Were you going to do the same thing?
No, I was actually going to go for this one.
Yeah,
get one built right away. So
I thought about taking
an
that.
engine.
Yeah, I probably should have taken that.
An engine go, but now I don't have the rush to be able to do that. I don't have the rush to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab.
That was a mistake.
I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these engineers. So I'll play a card just like John did. I will play a 3. Now, do you mention that if you get the 3 or below, you can just take?
I didn't mention that yet. But yeah, so if you want to take a 4 value or a 4+ card, you have to give up a green victory point. You can never get rid of the white victory points because this is one of the timers for the game. If 4 of these are gone or all these are gone, that starts the in-game process. You also have to spend a steam.
Yep. So I did spend one of my green victory points, move the steam down, and I'm kind of glad John played this at the beginning because now I know he has this for the Chrome machines. And I would like to be able to follow that in the future, so I'm going to go ahead and take.
I was hoping that you would take this because you played that green 3.
That's right,
and I was excited about that. You cannot take from here, except for one of your secondary actions is you can get rid of one from either of these rows and go ahead and then these would be now available.
That's right.
That's why it shows those. Okay.
Now I'm guessing I know which one John wants now, although. Those are some good options because they're all still high numbers. The 3 is a good number to have without having to pay the extra resources, Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have other options too because these can be very valuable in the game because this is how, let me just show this. This is how we're going to get this in-game scoring. But it's expensive. It's going to cost me 2 medium, 2 small gears, and I'm going to have to give up one of these educated engineers, not even one that I have in my hand, to then get one of these to score in-game scoring. So those can be... So part of me is going, is it too early at the moment, to do that? There's still 2 of these here. So if Dean took one, I could still play the card and take another one. So that's kind of my thought process, even on some of these, is I want to take what, I know that Dean wants. And here's the thing. I love this Chrome machine, but it's the same shape as this one.
Yeah.
So the way that works is if I have this and I'm churning and burning here, if I take this one, it's going to literally cover up, if I spend the cost, that one, and now this one doesn't work anymore. So even though the Chrome machines never rust out, you're still constantly making decisions in this game about, I'm going to end up losing that. So what I'm going to do is, I think I will, you know what? Let's do that. I'm going to spin this, so I'll call out Dean. I'm going to do a 2 orange. So that's going to go into the 2 slot up here. Sorry, I'm trying to not cover up too much stuff here. And I think I'm actually going to take this little turning machine because I don't have very much steam. And I wouldn't be telling you this, but I'm looking at one to get that turning machine as well, which is going to cost me a steam and a gear in order to get a chrome. And I got to have something to get me steam going. Now, these always go into the 3 slot here. And I can have as many of these as I can get. So look at that. This same thing happened last time we played the game. They're all the same.
It is.
There's not a ton of those, and so it can happen that way.
I'm okay with that now because I actually do want that. I'm actually going to follow John on this. So I will play my 3 I have a 3 orange that I'm going to play, and again, I don't take this action. Now, here's the tough part, is I really wanted to use this because, again, I wanted to get a chrome machine, and I want that. But part of me thinks, I know that John's not going to come for this one, so there might be something better that's up there. These do the exact same thing, except they're going to rust out. That's the only difference. But I'm okay with that, because you want to have some things that
you got to have it.
That
You got to have something popping.
So I'm going to put my 3 card over in the 3 spot. I am going to take this. This is going to go in this. In the same ones. Yes, there we go. Why is this weird? Why am I having such a hard time with this of where to put it?
You have your board turned the
wrong
way.
Why is this so weird? Okay, let's try this again.
It's an easy puzzle.
That is right?
Yeah, now you got to turn the right way.
Wow, okay. That's what I get for setting up my own board, apparently. Okay, so I put these over here. I put my new token over here. I'm good with that. I'm totally fine with that. So now it's over to me, right?
Yep. So that wasn't his turn. That was my turn where he's doing my action.
Yep.
So pretty sweet for him.
So now I'm kind of looking over here and thinking, whoa, I'd love to be able to go back to back and take another one of these. But you know what I don't need is that. Yep. I don't need that at all. I need to figure out a way to get some.
And if he had a steam, he could spend it again to get rid of one of those to take that. But he doesn't have any steam.
That's right.
Now he could play a card because...
Which is what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and play a card to give me steam. And I'm going to have to play this sideways a little bit. This is a 2 blue. The other thing I'm eyeing up here is this one now. This one, again, is a little bit more expensive than this one that I wanted. But now that I'm able to get some chrome gears, this is a great way to get some steam whenever you play a level 2 card. So anyway, I play this card. I'm just going to move up 2 steam back up there, and that is going to be my turn.
Here's the pools in this game. I could follow this action and raise up 2 steam, which would be super nice. But it's going to be getting rid of my card that gets me more powerful cards. I don't think I can do that right now. I hate it, but I don't think I can do it. So I'm going to go ahead and make my move. We still haven't even turned the gears yet because we got to get our factories going before we really want to start turning the gears. I'm going to go ahead and play this. I'm going to do what Dean did. I'm going to spend my steam and a victory point. Let's just toss that off camera here because I'm going to get a 4. And the reason I got that is because now I can copy any 3s that he has, but also now I could get rid of this 3 blue at some point in time to get one of these. And so that's going to go into my hand, and there we go.
Yep. I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit for doing this. I thought John had already taken that card, so I didn't look back up there. But I totally could have done the exact same thing. I really wish I would have done that now because I have the steam. I didn't have the steam before, but I do.
Yeah, you didn't have it, so you couldn't have done it.
I do now. That's right.
You could have done it. But now you have that one available too, which is kind of nice.
There's a lot of good stuff up there. The problem, that's the exact same card for me. The difference, because I just took that one.
Yeah, but the action,
Yeah, but getting the action is helpful. Ah, goodness. I'm going to...
And also, again, I wouldn't remind Dean, but it puts pressure on him because guess what? I have that action now too.
Yeah.
So if he really wants one of those cards like this 4, then I could pick it back up. But hey...
So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this, play this 1 orange, which is probably going to benefit John a little bit, but I'm going to take a medium gear, and that'd be my turn. The only reason I'm doing that is because I know in my mind I'm about to turn my wheel, and it's nice to go ahead and play that card. I like to anyway, so I can go ahead and get it straight back. I'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still tough for me because I don't have any steam. I do have this, turning gear, but man, if I get rid of this card, I'm going to get steam kind of slowly. And I don't love that, to be real. I also don't love that these are all coming out early in the game as well. Mm-hmm. There's things that are advantageous for it, but it kind of is clogging up the engine part of the game a little bit. Wow, man, this is kind of tough. Ah, man, I don't have any steam to get that. Okay, I'm going to do a super simple thing. I'm going to go just get some steam like Dean did earlier. I kind of hate playing that card, really. This game's all about efficiency. And I hate, or even that, I don't love playing that card either because it takes a whole turn just to get 1 gear.
Yep.
But you're going to get it right back, all that.
My problem is I just don't love these cards. I would love to be able to play this 4 to take one of those. I still think I might. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll put this 4 here. To take one of these cards. Now I can pay a steam and pay one of the points to get this, but again, I have that exact same card, and I don't think that I want to... Oh, no, that's not. That gives me a chrome machine. Mm-hmm. That's right. which is not terrible either, is it? And it would let me follow. I am going to do that, especially because John just said he wants to take it.
I'm glad you took that.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you.
I actually really like this one.
That that's what I want.
I consider taking that one too.
Yeah,
that's initially what I was going to do.
And you played what to get that before, so I can't follow that. So I'm gonna do that. So what Dean should do here is he's gonna turn this sideways, and I am too. And the reason is because when this X gets back around, as I mentioned before, so when it gets turned twice, I'm gonna get these cards. This is just so you don't get confused and think, oh, my X is already here, so I get that card back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this, and this is interesting. So gray cards are gonna be super difficult for Dean to follow because he doesn't have any gray. But this is going to let me set off my turning without turning and any of the active cards. So if I have my one shot, it still is only one shot, but I could activate this way earlier potentially than waiting for the gear to turn 3 or 4 times. So I think that's a pretty cool card. So I'm quite happy that I have that.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm kind of digging some of those cards that are out there. I'd really like to have this one. I wouldn't mind having this one either. That's a good one too. But this one, I like that you can follow. I don't care about the action as much as I do that you can just follow a lot of different.
Yeah, it does not follow gray.
That's right.
So just so you know, it follows any of the other or the potential to follow any of the other colors. He still has to have a higher number. So
yeah. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn. Let me think about this. If I play this, I can go ahead and take. I'll do that. So I'm going to play this one, my 4 here, to take one of those chrome machines. I think the one I'm going to take is this one right here. This is going to be a great way for me to get a steam. Anytime I play a 2 card, then I'm going to gain a steam. So I like I said earlier, I want a way that I can get steam without having to play a lot of cards to do that. That'll help me do that. And I didn't need this one as much. So that is my turn. If you can follow a 4 green.
I don't love doing this. I'm going to play this 2 and take a 1 shot. I'm going to take one of these. I'd rather wait, I think, but this is kind of clogged up, and it's probably going to be advantageous. Well, Dean, it's still going to be clogged up with the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and work towards an in-game scoring piece. Now, when you get these, the interesting thing about the one-shot machines is you always have to pay on any of them, except for the turning, which are down here. This and this in order to flip it over to make it active. If on my turn... actually, this card doesn't count. I can't do my 1 shot. I lied whenever I said that earlier. Sorry. It would be one of the ones that have the green active thing. So that was my fault.
Which is really good.
Yeah, so you can't do this earlier, so that's my fault for saying that. Well, I don't even know what I was saying.
You're going to explain this?
Oh, yeah. All right, so if it's not, sorry, now we're back. If it's not flipped over and this X gets back around to where it's at, toss it. You just wasted your turn, and there you go.
Yep.
That machine doesn't activate. So how about that? Ooh, complete 1 for free.
Oh, yeah. That's
so
really
you could
nice.
follow that too if you want to.
I can't. Wow, you're right. That's a good one to have. I like that both of these are out here too because I'd like to be able to get those. I don't really know what to do right now. I'm a little. I think I am gonna. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna turn my gear. So what this is going to do is I'll turn this here, and now I'm gonna gain everything from on this side over here. I also am gonna trigger this machine.
Every single turning machine that he has.
Yeah, every single turning machine. But I'm gonna take this back into my hand. If there were any gears or anything like that over here, any of the machines, they would all corrode and go away. But I am going to spend 1 gear and a steam to take a chrome wheel because I'm going to need that to be able to go ahead and build this one. Yeah. Which I might as well go ahead and do that, I guess. Whoops, flip that over.
So before or after your main action, which he complete, that was his main action.
Yep.
He can now complete as many of those as he wants.
That's right. So pay 2 chrome, which I had, and then 2 gears of the... Oh, sorry. It was 2 medium gears. Let me go back and do that. Here's what I had here. I would have paid this small gear to run this one, and then 2 medium ones to pay for that cost. I did that a little bit differently, but I had the right resources. So that's going to go here. So now every time I play a 2, I'm going to gain a steam, and that's going to be... It's going to be good.
It's good, and it's 4 victory points at the end of the game as well. So this is a big way to score points, one of the big ways to score points in the game. I think we're good, Dean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's we didn't show getting these, but again, I mentioned before, like, so if
Probably going to be a while.
if this X gets around to this side and this is flipped over, then I'm going to, but I have to give up 2 medium, 2 small, and get rid of one of my experts that I already had. So one of those good cards that I've already gotten, I've got to give up to take one of these. Now these are mirrored here. The good thing is if I take these first, one of the ones first, I get this bonus immediately, so I could get a chrome gear like Dean had. But also, just so you know, you can have both and double your score on that in the course of the game. So at the end of the game, so that's pretty cool. Where's that?
Looking for this?
The score sheet. I thought I had it here.
Oh no, it's down in the box.
All right, let him get that. Why I just stall.
You're not stalling, you're dancing.
All right, well, I just need this for later whenever let's talk about art and components first, and then let's do this.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple. You're straight up going to score points for how many of the tokens that you already have, the victory points you gained during the course of the game for all your chrome machines that you have, and these. That's it. You gain 2 points. You can turn in your chromes for 2 chromes for 1 point. They're worth half a point apiece, which isn't much. But I actually love the simplicity of there's a few things I do. Boom, I know how to score points. A lot of ways to get there. But it's pretty cool.
Yep. Art and components.
Let's do it. All right, let's just talk about it.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, so there's a lot of cool components in this. You got this, and by the way, this is just the regular retail edition. There is a deluxe version that has metal chrome wheels on it, but this is kind of cool.
Those are nice.
Little shiny tokens you got there.
Those are nice.
All the cardboard in the game is really thick. The card stock on the cards is nice.
Good.
That's it, right? I mean, it's mostly cardboard and some cards.
Yeah, some of my
couple Steam tokens. That's right.
A few of my little minor quibbles is so these are fairly similar, and I can see the difference in these now that I've played it many times when they're on my board or when they're next to each other. But what gets me that I don't love a lot is, let me see, where is that at? Oh, this machine right here. For example, is that small or is that medium when it's by itself?
When it's by itself.
I was having to look and go, okay, that's a small one. And I don't love that. I understand why they went that direction because corroded things look brown. And what other color are you going to do? But I wish there was maybe a little more distinction on maybe this is even lighter. You know what I mean? That's a little bit, when you see it next to each other there, it looks like maybe even lighter. I know it was a challenge probably, but yeah, that's a minor thing. I like the art. This is Dennis Lohan. Right?
You say that, and I agree with you in the sense that in our plays, you don't really think about it as much. Mm-hmm. But imagine being in a low light level setting.
True.
I think you very well could have some issues with that. Not only here, but also potentially on those tiles like you're talking about. So I think it's an issue. I don't love the art. I don't know. It's a challenge. Okay, I love Dennis Lohan's art.
It's kind of dark feeling.
Yeah, the box cover doesn't really do it for me, but I get it. Okay.
It's got this steampunk feel.
Can't reach it. It does. And here's the thing.
I'll just do it like that.
You're making a game about corrosion. Your box is going to be brown. I kind of like how they put the chrome wheel on there with the reflection to try to add a little something else.
It's a cool idea.
It just doesn't do it for me.
I didn't pick this up when I saw it, and we go back to. I'm not a big theme guy and all this stuff, but the box cover, I don't care. Either draws you into it or it doesn't.
It does,
and that does nothing for me.
When we were at PAX U, I was walking along the hall,
all kinds of games,
all of them, and that was there, and I was like. No,
dude,
I didn't give it a second thought. And then there's games that are probably worse.
For sure worse.
But I would pay. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's games there that we are worse than this one.
There's games that I like this better than many of the games that we played there. And I passed on it too because of that kind of feel. But anyways, whatever.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I like the art. I like the art of the engineers. I think they're pretty nice. And also, I do want to mention this is a nice spinning wheel. I just get irritated. Some of the ones that just spin real easily and free spin. No, this is tight, but not too tight. I'm telling you, you would think that that's not a big deal. It's a freaking big deal.
It's a huge deal. I did punch the game the other day, and I was like, I could put 2 more pieces of cardboard between these things, and it's seriously spinning in, flopping all over the place.
I like how these are all different shapes. I like the way the turning gears fit in. It's kind of cool. This is kind of awkward. like the way this is and the way it takes up the table space kind of weirdly.
But it's necessary,
But
right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's art and components.
There we go.
You can talk about the gameplay?
Yeah, talk about the gameplay. So the gameplay, there are some things that are really cool and unique about the gameplay of this game. The card play, for example. Playing a card...
Kind of like Glass Road. You can follow it.
Playing the action, following it, and all that. But it's different in Glass Road in the sense that like you don't have to...
you don't have to.
Yeah. You don't have to, but it also feels a little bit different. But the fact that you're putting them in these different quadrants, and then you're not getting them back until a little bit later, that makes you think. Do I want to play a 4 card right now that I'm not going to get back until 4 turns from now? Or that planning of it is really interesting and unique. I love how that plays out, and I love the different machines and how all that plays out too. Mm-hmm. Like these activate every time you turn it. These activate only when they come back around, but you have to be able to pay them to be able to do that. And everything corrodes, so you want to make sure that you're efficient. This game, it's a factory game about efficiency.
All right, I think one of my favorite parts about the game is the timing aspect of everything. So it's kind of got this Zolkin feel where you're spinning the gears and stuff like that, and the timing is a huge part. That's the same in this game, except for you completely control it as the player. Your opponent can't spin your wheel for you, and so can't mess you over or whatever. So it's all about planning your actions out ahead of time. Yeah. What's the most efficient, as Dean mentioned, way to get this Chrome engine to then I'll be able to have this bonus to grab that Chrome engine, or to, over the course of the game to, boost up this in-game scoring or whatever. But it's all about how I turn, when I turn, how often I turn. And I love those decisions. There's often times where I'm there's this card right here, and I told you, I don't love playing it because it's just a whole turn to do that. If I could turn this and then get this, and then maybe I have, some other things that set off, and I get my gears that way, that's more efficient. Mm-hmm. But it's also putting me one step closer to this machine, which if I don't have it flipped over in time, goes kaput. Yeah. But I can figure it out usually. But if I figure it out, maybe I'm taking too long to spin this and not, you know what I mean? That's kind of the crux of the game, really. Yeah. And I actually really do enjoy that part of it for sure.
Yeah. You don't want to waste any turns in this game. You're absolutely right. You want to make sure that you can do that. There is, you mentioned you're not affecting.
You took one of those machines. I should have done that. I think another one.
Oh, whoops. Yeah. You're not affecting other people. The way that player interaction comes out in this game
cards.
is in the cards. Yeah. It's heavy in it, but also racing to get these different things. Or seeing what does John have, what is John going to want, what kind of machine is he going to try to run. I might want to try to put a cog in that wheel, right?
Oh, oof.
No?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think you engineered that one poorly.
You're going to want to try to foil their plans if you can, right? Like you're going in with a crowbar and you're taking out their machinery.
I think this video is corroding fast.
That's probably right. But just know that you're not going to have. There is player interaction. It just might not, maybe in the same way that you might be looking for it if you look for a lot of player interaction.
But it goes back to the very first decisions, and through the course of the game, I've got this whole deck of cards. I can do anything. What am I doing? I'm looking to see which of these I want. Afraid that Dean's going to take one of those machines. Mm-hmm. And you're right. That's a big, huge part of the game.
Yeah. The corrosion part of this game, I think, is really unique and cool, too. I think it's
great
neat.
Point.
You might think, I would much rather have a chrome wheel than get one of these turning ones down here. Chrome machines. Yes, that's absolutely true, but they're so expensive, and you can get these, and if you get a bunch of these and get them going every time you turn, that's huge, right? That can be very...
Absolutely.
That can be really, really good.
Season... Turn. That song is stuck in my head every time I turn my wheel.
But it changes from game to game what's going to come out there and how that's going to impact. This is garbage right here. Eventually, somebody's going to have to pay some steam to get rid of these or take them.
No, I need one. I was prepping to take one of those, and maybe even more than one, because that's a really good way to get chrome.
Oh yeah, I love this.
I love it.
It's just I don't love having 3 out there when I already have one here.
But, no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
But negatives? You got any? Oh, sorry.
Well, I was going to say I do like the corroding aspect. I didn't know that if I would like that, because I was like, and here's why. I thought to myself, an engine building game where your machines constantly go down. I usually like to build an engine to go whoa, like an evil overlord over my board and see all this crazy stuff I build. You're not going to get that a ton in this game. Which you go into negatives. That could be a negative for some people. The kind of thing that you go, yes, look what I did. generally is the in-game scoring and the Chrome machines. Like you can feel like, wow, look at all these Chrome machines that I built. That's really cool. But you're going to build these. You're going to build these over the course of the game, and you're going to lose them. You're probably going to lose some gears occasionally, unless you play completely efficiently. Sometimes you have so many in other slots, you don't really care. But negative. So a lot to like about this game. I mean, I like the way the cards play and the way the wheel turns and stuff, but I will say the biggest negative for me is I feel like the game, because you're doing a lot of the same things over and over and over, it's still fun. It gets a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
And usually I'm like ready for it to be over about 45 minutes, and I think the box is 60 to 90 minutes on it. If I'm wrong about that, I know it's more than that. And most of my games have played out, even in 2 players, I think about an hour or so, maybe a little longer than an hour.
Yeah, and part of that depends on really the one shots. You know, and there's other ways
how they come out and stuff like that. Yeah, if we're taking a lot of the chromes for that, if we're jumping to this. But yeah, it's actually more like an hour and 15 minutes now that I think about it, or something. Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't
roughly. Yeah,
yeah. It doesn't have, the game doesn't change enough for me to be. I just kind of get, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, and the thing is, an hour and 15 minutes isn't too long. You know, we like lots of games that last that long. But when you're doing the same thing,
it's the same.
But here's the thing: for me, I think it's more of a personal thing. I've got kind of two knocks on this game, but I don't think it's necessarily a knock on the game as much as it is a personal preference. One is it feels too long. You know, it's not too long of a game, but it feels like I want it to end 15, 20, 30 minutes earlier than what it does. I feel that way about a lot of those type of games. Furnace is a game that's a little bit quicker, but you are doing the same thing. You're running these engines.
So how about that? In your face.
I'm pretty close on both of them, but I think they're different. But anyway, I think I prefer Furnace, but only because it's a little bit shorter. My other knock on it is a personal preference. Again, not that this is a knock on the game. Is I can get kind of overwhelmed sometimes on like a lot going on. Teotihuacan is a game that a lot of people love. I don't, because this thing triggers this, that triggers this, and you have to keep up with a lot of different things. I felt that way in this one too, and it's different than that. It's a completely different game than that, but it kind of gave me the same feelings because I have to pay attention. I've got all these turning machines, you know, potentially 4 or more that are out here that you have to pay attention to every time you turn. I have to make sure, oh, wait, did I pay for this one already? When I have it up here, I'm about to turn it. I don't have the resources I need. There's thinking about that, thinking about these machines, thinking about also trying to get points because you can do a lot of stuff and not get points. So it's a personal thing where I don't like as much stuff going on, and so that's a knock for me as well.
What Dean doesn't like, I like.
Yeah.
And I love that aspect of the game. I love trying to make sure, in that clever feeling of I've got it all lined up right, I'm making the moves at the right time. Even the frustration of, oh, shoot, I did not do that right. I like that. I mean, I really like that part.
Part of it is, did I forget to trigger this thing? You know, that feeling. I guess that if I had to narrow it down, that's what it is.
Yeah.
If there's so much stuff going on, I knew what I wanted to do, but did I forget to do this turning machine or whatever, the Chrome machine?
You know, it's so weird because, like, I would think that I'm smarter than you, but you beat me most of the time, so you're smarter than me.
Hey, there we go.
I don't know how that works.
Logic, that's how it
like,
works.
some of this is a bit easier for me to understand, but I guess I'm a dum-dum because I can't beat you a lot. I did win this one, though.
You did.
I did win this one.
Yes, yeah, you did.
Okay, final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I guess if that's okay with you. Love the timing aspect of the game. I think it's really smart. As I'm ramping up, as I'm playing, I'm 15, I'm 20, I'm 30 minutes in the game, I'm really enjoying the way that I'm setting this off and setting that off and the way I've kind of built my actions up. And, oh, yeah, I got this Chrome machine, so now this is cheaper. Or every time it turns, then I'm going to gain, or every time I play a card, or this thing turns, I'm going to gain X gear. I really like that about the game. I like the race 2 element of these things popping out, and even the in-game scoring race 2 element. That can be actually really, really big. I like all that stuff a lot. My only negative, really, is that it feels just too long. It feels too long, and I hate that about it because positively, solo, this feels about the right time. I really enjoy this solo. I'm going to keep the game for playing it solo, and the solo is super simple to play. But, man, it's hard because I'm just like, and it's not that the game's super long, but it's just like, okay, I've kind of built my engine. I'm good. I'm done. So it's going to put a knock on it. I was thinking on the way over here. That's what I love about Stefan Feld. I feel like his games, for the most part, end exactly when I want them to end.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of the brilliant design. And I think this has a lot of brilliance, and I just wish it ended about 45 minutes to maybe an hour at the longest instead of the hour to hour and a half where it's at. And so I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10, which means I'm usually willing to play it. I don't think I'd be suggesting it a lot though, which would be an 8 out of 10. I would play it solo, which is why I'm kind of giving it a 7.5. And I think there are times when I would suggest it. Now I do know this. Yes, I can shorten the game. I can take less of these and I can take them off. I could even do 3 instead of 4 of these rows in a two-player game. Or I could say when 3 of these are taken, that's going to trigger the end of the game. Absolutely can do that. I'm basing this on the rules.
Yeah,
like I don't base my ratings on house ruling something. But still, I did enjoy this game, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this. 7.5 out of 10 is a good score. I liked it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. And the designer,
his first game did a great.
The designer has said that you can do those things, but you're absolutely right. We have to go on the rules that we have. If there's a variant in the book or something, we can kind of talk about that. But there's not, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is a really cool game. I just think this is a really cool game for other people and not necessarily me. I'm at a 6.5 on this one, which is not a bad score. I enjoy playing this game.
You had fun today.
Yeah, and I have fun when I play this game. In general, I think it's really cool, and I like a lot that it has going on. It's just not a game that's like I'm going to design a game for Dean. This is not it, but that's a personal thing, not a fault in the game. I think the game is cool. There's a lot to really like with the wheel, turning the wheel around and the things corroding out. You mentioned, I build my engine, I'm done with it. Yes, but not really, because your engine is going to corrode. You're going to have to keep changing it. But it's not like you're changing it that's what
right? Yeah, and I'm glad you made that point, because yes, it's not like I'm done with. It's just like, yeah, but I've already had this turning machine 3 times in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't get that excited that I'm building that engine again.
Yeah.
Like I'm building the same ones over and over, and it's kind of like. Yeah. And also negatively, this can get kind of clogged up, and I can spend Steam to go to it, but that can be a little bit frustrating sometimes because there's just not a ton of these. They don't do a ton of other things, but anyway.
And so if you think Dean's opinion on games is usually pretty stupid, you might like this game, and more than I do.
We're talking about smarts and stupids a lot.
But for me, again, 6.5, 7.5 from John. Cool game. Check it out if the gameplay seems like something you would enjoy. Tell people how they get in touch with us.
If you're enjoying our channel, we'd love for you to subscribe. If you'd like to support what we're doing, go to patreon.com/Meepletown. We're at Meepletown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we're working Geek 24/7.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our Patreon supporters for making content like this possible. If you would like to become a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/Meepletown. To follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, find us at Meepletown Games. Finally, to connect with us and other residents of Meepletown, you can join Guild 3407 at BoardGameGeek.com. Until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.